All right, so we got an eBay unboxing. I took a chance on this listing, hoping it was going to be a jackpot. And so I'm going to open it up in fast motion. We're going to see what the heck is in here. And I'll tell you why I hope it is what it is. We'll see if it is what it is. And if it's not, you're going to hear me like sigh and cry like a baby because I paid $87 for this lot on eBay. Uh-oh. I didn't order a tactical folding knife. Oh, thank God. No pun intended. Okay, so we're going to find out today if I hit the jackpot. Now, crucifixes can be very inexpensive, valuable, or in between. And so generally when you buy a crucifix, you can buy them from those Catholic supply stores and you can get them for like $2 or $3. Or you can get an antique one, it could be worth a lot of money. Or you can get a vintage one and it could be worth $10 or it could be worth $1,000. And so, all right, now, the ones I look for are the ones that open up and have hidden compartments. And so let's see if I got one with a hidden compartment. All right, this one, I do not see a spot where it would be a hidden compartment. Okay, but it still got value. We have what's known as, this is a crucifix that was generally made somewhere between the late Victorian era throughout the mid 20th century. And a lot of these that you find with the ebony, don't know if you can see this, were probably made about the turn of the century to about the 1940s, 1950s. And this one I could tell is probably from the late Victorian to about the 1930s. It is old, but not really, really super old, not super valuable, but although this is one that came in a smaller size. Now, they came in many different sizes. Some of them were 1 or 2 inches that would be on a rosary. Some of them would be as big as 10 inches that would go on a wall. And some of them would be in like the 5 to 7 inch range, would have probably been a profession crucifix for a nun or a priest or a father. And these actually sell well. People look for these old ones. Right here on the back, we have ebony with nickel plating. We have the Sacred Heart of Jesus right there in the center, or the crown of thorns. And one like this in a small size generally will sell. Now, if it's in really good condition, will probably sell for about $20 to about $70. Now, I can clean this up and make this shine like a new penny with a little Simicrone and a little Murphy's Oil soap, which I will do so. Next. Okay, I'm like hoping that I'm looking for like a secret hidden compartment. Don't see it, but it is very similar to the other one. Oh, by the way, this one is more valuable than this one. I'm going to show you the difference. Okay, what makes the one on the right more valuable than the one on the left? Let's study it. If you notice on the bottom, the skull and crossbones, that is a Golgotha crucifix or a Memento Mori crucifix. Again, coming in all different sizes, usually with this ebony panel right through there. This one is worth more. People look for the Golgotha ones. Oh, I'm trying to show you. Sorry, my hands have schmutz on it. I've been doing restorations and it's all, my skin's all dried out. And yeah, we see there we go. We have the crucifix with the Golgotha skull and crossbones on the bottom. Jesus has this really cool, like if you look behind him, that would be like the crown of thorns or some kind of like halo behind him. No, the crown of thorns look like they're on his head. This was probably made somewhere, again, the turn of the century to about the 1930s. Again, something like this between $20 and about $75. If it was a larger size one, this one would go, now when I say larger, anything about 6 inches to about 10 inches, anywhere between $80 to $150. Yeah, people really like these ones, these older ones. And these are really highly sought after because, by the way, they're not rare. You'll see them all the time pop up on eBay in all different sizes. But people do like these older pieces because they were most likely generally worn by a priest or a nun. And Now we're on to the third. And this is the one I took the chance on. The bidding went to $87 for this lot. And I was hoping to God that this one is the winner. If you know what I mean, it has a hidden compartment. And I can tell it does because there's a seam right down the center. And you can see a little hinge right there. And okay, so basically you unscrew the top right there. It's very hard to tell if these ones open or close because you can just generally see, you know, you just think somebody would just assume. By the way, I just noticed my fingers are like yellowed, like I've been like painting, I've been doing a lot of stuff. But if you look, you can not generally tell that these crucifixes would open. And so now, did I get the money shot? And we're going to investigate. I'm going to unscrew this and see what happens. Okay, I unscrewed the top. I put it on the side. All right, you ready? And we hit a bingo. We definitely hit a bingo. Oh my goodness, we hit a bingo, boys and girls. Look at this. Look at the treasures. Okay, so who do we have? What saints do we have? Let's zoom in. It's very hard to tell. It looks like Felici. On the left, we have Renee. We have Utic. I don't know who this one is. Zent. We have right in the center the Agnus Dei, Lamb of God. That is really cool. That is a Lamb of God piece of candle right there. To the right of that, we have Anastasia. Who else do we have? Let's get in there. We have Saint Pia. I think it's Saint Pia. Saint Jovita or Lovita. This is German, by the way. I can tell these are written in the way Germans would spell it. Saint Benedict. We have Saint Amand. I'll have to look that up. It might be somebody like named Saint Amanda. And then down here we have Saint Valentine. Okay, so this, boys and girls, by the way, this can be cleaned up. This is ebonized wood panel on the front. This is what's known as a trifoil crucifix. You can see the 3 like clover leaves on the edges. And wow. Okay, this is something else. $87 was actually a drop in the bucket compared to what this is worth. Now, these are relics of saints. And they generally come in first-class relic, second-class relic, or third-class relic. The one you really want to collect is, of course, first-class relic, which would be the bone of a saint. It could be a fingernail, a piece of hair, so a piece of their flesh. Second class would be something they touched or wore. Third class would be touched to a first-class relic, so it would be a piece of cloth touched to a first-class relic, and then it makes it a third-class relic. But generally, these crucifixes contain first and second-class relics. Now, $87 was a complete and utter bargain for this, and I will show you why in a moment. Now, I can clean this up, a little bit of Murphy's oil soap, and I can use Simichrome and polish this, and it'll look like, and it'll shine like a new penny. This is probably late 19th century to about the 1920s. As an example, now it was sold at an auction house. Now, things that are sold at an auction generally go for way less than their true value. And this one sold for $700. It's the same exact size as mine. And it has the relics of the saints inside of it with the Agnus Dei wax seal right in the center. And a little piece like this, $700. This one is teeny tiny. You can see the dime next to it. And this one is being sold for $562. It's on sale. It was $750. And as you can tell, I mean, these things are absolutely amazing. We have relics inside this one. And a lot of them are actually missing. By the way, the seller's pictures are just god-awful. It's not my camera. But you can see a lot of the relics are missing from this. I mean, how do you take pictures like that? It boggles the mind. Okay, here we go. And you can see this one is just really shot. And it is missing, it's missing relics. It's missing pieces to it. And the price is still that high. I find this one really laughable because they're selling it for $9,000. That is absolutely insane. But as you can see, very, very similar to mine. We have the saints inside of it. And with the Agnus Dei in the center. $9,000. Are they going to get the price for that? That is the question, boys and girls. I'm going to probably tell you that they probably will not get this price, but you can see these are really cool how these open up with a little hinge on the bottom.
Hi, this is Jared Dees from thereligionteacher.com. Let's talk about Catholic relics. The word relic means remains of the body. And essentially, in the Catholic Church, we venerate relics connected to a specific saint. So a saint whose soul is in heaven, body still remains here on earth. And there's different levels or classes of relics. The first class would be that body. So bones, for example, of the saint. A second class would be objects, like clothing or other possessions of the saint. And then a third class relic would be something that touches either the relics that are first class or second class relic. So why? Why is this important? Why do we venerate relics? We're not worshiping the objects, we're not worshiping the body, but what is the purpose of it? Well, if you think about this, a saint is someone who is in heaven, they're united with God right now. But their body still remains on earth. And that body is to be venerated, recognizing that we believe in the resurrection of the body, that in the last judgment, our souls will be reunited with our bodies. So these relics are remains of a person who is united with God. So those relics are ways in which we can venerate and look for our own future resurrection of the body and look for in the world a connection to heaven. That's why there's a veneration of relics, not to worship a saint, but to recognize that this person is in heaven. And so there have been throughout history many miracles that occur because of a close proximity to relics. And we can turn to this saint and ask the saint for prayers because of their soul's unity with God in heaven. And so these relics give us a special connection to that saint when we are asking him or her to pray for us while we remain here on earth. Go make disciples. God bless.
So I hope that explained to you what I'm talking about, because it's very hard. I am not a clergy person. I am not even a real devout religious person or even practicing Catholic. I'm trying to, but I'm not a holy person. I'm just some person with a YouTube channel with like 6,400 subscribers. Okay, so what do we do here with this? You can't sell it. Okay, so if you should find one of these in a thrift store or your grandmother's jewelry box amongst costume jewelry, and you find it and you say, oh, I'm going to sell this for what I just saw her show me they sell for. If you are a Christian, you are not allowed to sell holy relics, especially a Catholic. It is a sin. So the person that sold this to me might go to hell. I'm only kidding. Maybe they're not even a Catholic. I don't know. But they were selling a lot of Catholic things. This wasn't the only auction they had. They had multiple auctions for rosaries and all sorts of things. Although they didn't sound like they knew much about what they had, if they are a Catholic and they're not aware that they sold the holy relic of the saint, they may not go to hell. They may not have to go to confession and tell their priest that they just sold the holy body parts of saints. Yeah. So if you find one of these, I don't know, you go to a garage sale, you go to a thrift store, you go to a flea market. Do not think you can sell this on eBay and make money off of it. Don't do it unless you don't care about, like, maybe possibly, falling to a fiery death. You can't make a profit off of holy relics. You can sell a regular crucifix. Although, to make a profit off of it, it's not really, it's sort of, you're touching that point where it's, getting a little bit, frowned upon. I don't think a Catholic priest would recommend you to do that if you're doing this for a business. And so I scored big. What is something like this worth? Well, we saw one sell for $700. I am going to put a price of $700 to $1,200 on this reliquary filled with relics in it. Will I sell it? The answer is no. It's my booty. It's my treasure. When I find a treasure such as this is something I will not let go, because $87 was a really amazing bargain to find something this beautiful. Let's hold it up and look at it. This was really, I mean, absolutely. I'm just going to move this out of the way. The other ones are the redheaded stepchildren. This is absolutely amazing. And so if you think you're going to find one of these on eBay, I will tell you, if you're hunting after watching my video, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. 90% of the crucifixes that you will find that are antique or vintage on eBay will not have the special compartment. 90%. So if you're one of the people that once in a while might take a chance and pay $87 on a lot of 3 crucifixes, you might get lucky. And it might not be a tactical folding knife. It might be something that is really quite amazing. By the way, most people won't appreciate the workmanship that went into this. You see the quilling? That's called quilling, or paper roll. And paper rolling is very difficult. I've tried to do it, and I had a hell of a time trying to replicate what the nuns did. The nuns that made this, that put this all together. Those little papers are extremely, extremely hard to curl in such a tiny, minutiae, little, what's the word that I'm looking for? Diminutive size. It is extremely aggravating. And you will probably end up spewing a few expletives and, yeah, breaking one of the commandments, trying to get that in there. Now, remember, this is in miniature. Let's zoom. Yeah. So you see, look, this is like looking at it normally. Imagine having to curl each one of these pieces of papers in miniature, that size. Yes, you need to zoom in there with basically a microscope or a magnifying glass that's like 20 times to get those little pieces of paper that small to fit in there. So I am extremely awestruck. I am extremely fortunate. And I'm extremely thankful to actually get to share this with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. On to the next, because I continue to look for really cool and amazing relics. And hopefully I'll find more soon, which, like I said, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. And 90% of the time, you will not find ones with the secret compartment. So if you're looking on eBay right now, don't bother. I'm not kidding you. Unless you want to take a chance and spend $100 or $87, and all 3 of the crucifixes that you might buy don't open. And then you're like, well, crap, I just, yeah, that could happen. So thanks for watching. See you guys on the next one.